Wow, we're back again with these yearly retrospectives. Now, after the 2010 retrospective, I'm going to come with this with a little bit of a new mindset here. These are videos that I want to make. Actually, more or less, these are videos about the appreciation of my collection. But really, I also want to go through every single year of pretty much every year that I collected Lego. And 2010 was the first year that I really started collecting Lego when I was a kid. And 2011 was probably the year where I really did collect, I got a lot of stuff. And like, this is where I became a true Lego fan. It dictated what would be really the rest of my life right here. But I'm not gonna just do that in this video about just showing my collection, because literally, this is my whole collection right here. I'll first start off with talking about the sets that I actually own right here, and then I'll talk about some sets that I either want or just kind of, you know, like praise about this year. And I will say one thing about this year, there's not a lot of crazy polybags for me to talk about this year. Not a lot that I really thought I would actually discuss, because here's one little polybag right here. It's the nice little Venator polybag, and I really do like this little polybag. This is actually one of my first polybags that I've accumulated in my collection, and I actually kind of forgot about this little doodad here. I actually had to rebuy this one a couple years back. I had it, and I had the instructions, and then, you know, because this, obviously you can see there's not that many crazy parts, mostly a lot of gray slabs with like 4 like dark red pieces right here. Well, it's like, obviously this is supposed to like represent the hangar up here, and then this little binoculars is supposed to represent like the command centers on the top. It kind of does feel like more of like an Acculomator than like an actual Venator, but I don't know. I don't care, and I really do like this set a lot. It's a very small polybag. It's probably one of the smallest polybags that I actually own, with like 30 pieces. I actually did a review on this like 2 years ago, so if you want to watch the epic review that... Okay, I probably spent too much time talking about this set, so we're going to actually move on from the... Because there's so much more sets to talk about in 2011. We got to get rid of this thing right here. This thing is blocking up so much space. You barely could see that I have talked about you enough, all right? Because you can't even see it now. Because this is the 2011 calendar right here. This is a little bit of a Lego store exclusive. I didn't fact check that. Now, I am missing a lot of pieces on this little guy right here. And I'm gonna actually open up the instructions, because I always want to keep the instructions on hand too, because it's very handy. Something that's very interesting about these instructions is that it actually tells you it's one-on-one. It actually shows you how to set up your pieces here, because really, it's not complicated to learn how to build this thing. Oh wait, this. It literally is 1-to-1 scale replication. Right there, that's... I always thought that was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And it also did come with like 2 minifigures and 2 base plates. I don't actually have the base plate parts here for some reason, so I have this one right here that has done pretty well for the past, you know, 10 years of my life at this point. I mean, this is a 14-year-old set. I do have... Oh no! Oh man, I ruined everything, you stupid calendar! Okay, so this calendar has had some pretty better days right here with the yellowed white pieces, and I'm actually missing 16, 26, 28, and 29. Sadly, I just lost those parts. And then on the back here too, yeah, it's I don't know what even happened here. I'm not even gonna lie to you. What's more funny is that you look at this, right? And so they have all the months printed on one side and then months printed on the other side, except these got yellowed so bad, like over like 10 years ago at this point, that I have the, I gotta clean this off. I want to do a whole video on this specifically, and maybe actually do a video where I do this all year long, and actually that might take forever. It might be kind of cute. This is a really cool set though. Oh yeah, and I'm also missing Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I just, on the Smidbricks calendar, it doesn't matter because it's only Monday and Thursday, and then sometimes I post the occasional YouTube short on Saturday, so there you go. And Friday is actually when I post stuff on Smid Productions, so... And, you know, when I post stuff on Spotify, it's Thursday. So actually, this is the exact Smid calendar, if you think about it. Yeah, so actually this works perfect. So, okay, we're done. Okay, goodbye. Say goodbye to the calendar. We're gonna make another video on it. Trust me. That's also why we do this, this retrospective, because of ego. Ugh, excuse me. Wants to see these. We're gonna talk about these guys probably later, so there we go. We're gonna just dump those off. So we're gonna be talking about Lego Cars now, because Lego Cars came out in the years of 2011 and 2012 when the hit movie Cars 2 came out. I have a lot of bold claims to talk about with the Cars franchise, but we're gonna get into that not today. Today we're gonna be talking about the Lightning McQueen Lego set, and that's not a hat, silly. Oh man, that's a cone. cone, a cozy cone. And this represents the cozy cone so well. So this is actually cone review. We were too lazy to make the segment not stud review, so this is cone review. So there you go. We fixed that. And as a cone, I've always loved this. I always love the bright orange. They use these for like mixel joints as 1.2, and they've always used these like same cones. I don't even know if they've ever like printed stuff on top of these before, but I've always really loved it a lot, and they've always started with cars. The Lightning McQueen has always been cool, and actually all the cars of the Cars franchise are always pretty neat because it literally has just like the most amazing prints for like $4, $5. I think this was like only $4 back in the heyday, which is still insane because you get this amazing 95, as you know, it is his little thing. Oh my gosh, I've just realized it has Lightning McQueen printed on both sides right here. Oh, that's really neat. That's really cool. And actually, I love like the window prints that come out right here. He has a lot of different expressions and different sets, so I always appreciate that with the Rusties, with being this one from the first Cars movie. I really do appreciate that a lot, that they did sets in this way for both the first and second Cars movie, so I really did appreciate that. And also, it just has some nice striping right here. This is like, you know, pre-radiator strings, it's springs. Springs, oh my goodness. I am losing my marbles. Oh, these are like the brands from the movie right here. That's actually really cool. We spent a little too much time on McQueen, so you're gonna just drive off there. Okay, we're gonna keep the cone though. We like the cone. Because right now we're gonna talk about Mater. Now this is probably one of my favorite sets, and at the time, one of my favorite characters in fiction. So, Tow Mater right here. This is probably one of my favorite like $4 or $5 set. There were very few sets in my original collection that I just adored so much, and Tow Mater was just one of them. He's never left my collection, never to this day, and I don't think I've really unbuilt him in like the past 10 plus years at this point, because honestly, I love him so much. I love just like the way like the eyes look right here. He's just happy and he's smiling with that little buck teeth in the front right there. I love how they got the rear view mirrors, and then, you know, you can, you know, get you some right there. I also always love the piece they use for this tow cable right here. I've never really seen it used in like other sets before, so I always do appreciate this. And then also just the print with like the back like area right here. This can be used for anything, like just for any pickup truck. Actually, I feel like that's kind of the cool thing, is that you can use these cars for pretty much any part. For like if you actually want a tow truck, literally here's like the perfect tow truck, and it gets like the nice rustic vibe because they have like the print of like the light blue, like Aquazul, whatever it's called, and then it's like, then you have like this nice teal green Tow Mater. Like, this is awesome. Like, straight up, this is one of the best like $4 that you could have gotten in 2011. Love them so much. And if you want a Tow Mater, just get your classic Tow Mater right there. We're gonna go through another gauntlet of a couple other sets right here, and I actually want to quickly talk about this little Lego City Speedboat. I got this specifically from the Legoland Discovery Center. I remember my grandma took me one day with me and my brother. We went on some rides, had some fun. I don't even remember if I have any of the pictures. I might have some pictures somewhere still of that fun day. And I remember I got to pick one set from the Discovery Center, and it was the speedboat. And the speedboat, I didn't just get a speedboat. I got a speedboat with a pretty cool looking dude right here. And look at that cool dude. Oh man, he can't even focus because he's so cool, because he has shades. He has the shades, and all you gotta do is put this cool dude on the speeder. Now, the weird thing with Lego City in this year is that they did have like the obvious like police wave for this year. They also had some pretty cool boats, and I really love the boats, even though this was the only set I had, and I saw like the promotional stuff with this set in tandem with like, oh, here's the other sets that you could have gotten this year. I love the speedboat. I'm surprised that we don't get that many like $5, $10 speedboats for Lego City just like this. I kind of do miss it, but it's such a simple, really cool little build. I love it so much, and I don't think I've taken this set apart, of like taking this out of my collection. So like this, like Mater, it's kind of the same set I've never got in my collection, and the same set that I haven't got in my collection, my prized possession of the Target exclusive Lego City Bank right here. Now, the Lego City Bank is probably one of my favorite Lego City sets of all time, mainly because, yes, I own it, and it was actually like the first building, like modular building that I ever gotten. So basically, I use this set pretty much for like all my awesome battles and epic, you know, like fighting, like my lore, okay? Like when I had like all my Avengers sets and DC sets, you know, I needed a place for them to fight, so I had the City Bank, and if I needed some cool cops versus robbers stuff, obviously, this set kind of is the perfect best set to do anything with that with, honestly. Mainly because you do get this amazing, cool, smug-looking cop right here. And he's like, I'm ready to kick some bank right there. And that's what they all say, actually. Every cop says that. And you're gonna put the little copper right here into his police vehicle. And I do like the police vehicle quite a bit. The one problem with my set right here is that obviously the stickers are just so old. I'm not even sure if this is actually the right sticker, though I really do like how simple this nice little build is. And it's nothing like that crazy. I think it's just nice. There's supposed to be like police, there's supposed to be police prints right on the side right here too, and I'm pretty sure there might be supposed to be something here. I got it pretty much down correct. I think there was like a couple parts I was missing. I don't know. There's not crazy much to say, honestly, because you've seen 100 of these police vehicles. I always have liked this red vehicle that the robber always used, so it actually kind of like fully builds out like the whole like play scenario that this set's actually supposed to, you know, make you have a little bit of an imagination with. Because you get like the full scene right here. The bank, the guy is gonna rob the money right here, and he's so evil, so he's gonna rob the money from the ATM, or if you want to get even more creative with it too, he's gonna steal the whole ATM, and all you gotta do is push down on it, and the whole ATM goes out, and he can steal the whole ATM. That's pretty cool and pretty nifty, and honestly really fun. And I do like that it has like a clock on the back, because you just gotta put it back in, and then there's a whole interior to here. But before we get there, I also want to show off, there's also a money bank security guard right here. So it's not just one police, but it's a different type of faction of police, and that's also pretty cool. My real favorite build of this set right here is this like actual like city bank hauler, because you get to just open up the top right here, and it's so slick. Like, it's one of the cleanest like vehicle builds in like city like period. And then you get like to like hold the money in here too, so you can just kind of transfer the money from here into here, and it fits nice and snug. Like, the interior is insane. You get a whole place to put a minifigure, place to put like the little like cash vault safes that you can actually also put into the bank, and I'll show that later. And then you get a bunch of little suitcases that fit nice and snug into the back right here too. They're all kind of scattered here. I should have that. And then you can also open it up from the back right here, and then there's just more green suitcases with money. And I just love how much play function features are in this set. That's also probably why it's one of my favorite sets of all time at this point. I'm trying to rebuild this here, and there we go. Look at that. That is so clean, so slick. And you put the minifigure in there, it's just like a cherry on top. Yeah, so once that minifigure is nice and snug in there, bada bing, bada boom. Oh, and you can also open it from the side here too, and look at that. That is really cool, and you get some side little window rear view mirrors like a meter. And yeah, no, seriously, this is like one of my favorite truck builds in Lego. Nice and boxy, but very slick and clean. I love it so much. And then you get this awesome receptionist lady, but this receptionist lady wouldn't mean anything without the City Bank. I'm missing a sticker, don't at me. So we're gonna look at this awesome little Lego City Bank here. What the fuck? Dom Toretto, why are you stealing my man? Wait, Paul Walker, you alive? How did this happen? Did you resurrect him? You must have. Did Mandor, it was his witchery, his sorcery of the evil helmet holes. It was him. Mandor stands for more holes and real holes. I'm pretty sure that's what the M&R stands for. But Paul Walker, you should be ashamed of yourself. Shame on you. I'm sorry, we're gonna get this out of here. This is very embarrassing. I don't know how this stuff even happens on this channel right here. We're gonna put the reception. Oh man, I just don't know. Because, I mean, I was gonna show you this awesome vault, and it like opens and closes, and it has some nice flowers, a desktop computer, Macintosh really. I like the Mac OS, which is really cool. And you can even see the clock back there. You can even see the clock. But it's all ruined now because they resurrected Paul Walker or something.
That's Paul Walker! That's Paul Walker!
Now, two fascinating sets that I've had in my collection before, but now are a little bit off, is this amazing dual battle pack in 2011. Now, this was the first year that I really started collecting battle packs, and I loved it. I remember getting this one for my birthday, and I think those were my brothers right there, and they were so cool. And I actually had two of these sets back in the day too. That's why I have an extra little bomber trooper right there. And I'm going to talk about this quick build right here because it's a pretty standard speeder bike, but it was my first speeder bike, and that's what mattered. I didn't get a lot of crazy Star Wars sets during this year, but the ones I did have, I did cherish a lot. Or at least like the ones I did get were mostly like 2010 sets, or like maybe even a little bit earlier. So this was really like very few of the Star Wars sets that I actually did get, and I was kind of happy with it. So as a speeder bike, it's pretty standard. You know, you could put your minifigure in there. I'm missing a couple parts. I don't have that white part right there. I don't know. Not anything crazy to talk about here, but as like my first clone troopers, like I didn't know what a barf trooper was, but I did like it because it was green, and I thought that was pretty cool. Very sad that I didn't even get like a regular like clone trooper until like another 2 years later, but that didn't matter because I was happy with getting my lieutenant right here, and I have a nice Clone Wars style lieutenant, and oh my goodness, you are chewed up. But whatever, I like the nice like green like prints that go here, nice green prints right there. And also, did I mention the green prints up here? Pretty gnarly. Sorry, didn't get to talk about the ARP Trooper enough. Look at that, look at that. Awesome red print right there with awesome green print with yellow prints. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, they both have it. It's the same! Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I think this was a unique mold at the time for this set too, so that was also really cool. I know that you were using the 2012 one, but we can't get our head ourselves now because we have this amazing... this is probably one of the best Clone Trooper Clone Wars designs, honestly. And this was only in like the end of season 1 as well, which is very fascinating because in like end of season 1 was like what, 2009, and this set comes out in 2011. So very fascinating for a different type of Clone Trooper that only showed up in like basically like a one arc at the end of the Blue Shadow Virus. And then they didn't really show up after that too. They were just Bomb Squad. So very fascinating. That's a battle pack choice. Very interesting, very cool. Oh my goodness, what have they done with you, good sir? Oh my goodness, your head is crazy style right there. Oh my gosh. Well, I have 3 of these guys right here, so 3 the fun. Now, the other cool thing about this battle pack right here is that it actually came accompanied with this battle pack. I only have these 2 right now. I don't know what happened, but you get the nice, cool Night Owl, Paz Vizsla. Wait, it doesn't. The Jon Favreau one. Oh, that doesn't help either. Okay, the one, the blue one. Oh man, I can't even work with that either. Yeah, so they give you a Mandalorian battle pack in 2011, which, besides Boba and Jango, this was the only other way of getting some, like, true Mandalorians. So for the first time ever, LEGO just made other Mandalorians, and you get 4 of these really cool blue and dark gray ones, and that's just really cool. Probably some of the best Mandalorian designs that we've ever gotten. And then they kind of revamped them last year in their last year's battle pack, so I really do appreciate that right there. Yeah, like even comparing and contrasting like the 2 from like basically like a decade apart, it's night and day, but I still adore these ones to death at this point. Yeah, so pretty great battle packs. You get a bunch of cool clones, cool Mandalorians right there. Not that one, because that one, are you stupid? This is 2011 Retrospective. Get out of here. How did you and Dom Toretto even get here? This is stupid. Oh my gosh. Alright, we have another cool one, the V-Wing, and the V-Wing is probably one of my favorite starships, and I do love that it made its grand return in the Bad Batch era, but it was mainly, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, the prototypes to the, well, some might say the X-Wing, but really it's more akin to the TIE Fighter. It's actually a good hybrid mix of both. This is the only Imperial LEGO V-Wing that they've ever come out with, so I gotta appreciate LEGO for that. Probably my favorite V-Wing design, mainly because I'm biased. Hello, have you seen my channel? I'm V-Wing crazy. Supremacy of the V-Wing. V-Wing you can play in every Battlefront game except for the one where it doesn't have the V-Wing, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And also, I gotta also applaud for them giving my favorite minifigure slash character in fiction, the V-Wing pilot. Now the V-Wing pilot is very unique. I mean they've done other ones, but not like this one. The only Imperial V-Wing pilot, very akin to like a Dark Trooper look with like the way its eyes and like little mouthpiece right there moves. But it's also like a pilot like you would see as the helmet is very akin to a ARC 170 pilot, which is actually, you might want to sit down for this. a cheeky reference to a movie. And there's also this really cool gray astromech too, also my second favorite character in Star Trek. So oh man, I dropped it. No! Okay, whatever, it's gone. Goodbye. All right, I've already talked about this set, or I'll talk about it again eventually too. Who knows? Who cares? Because right here we have my first biggest Lego set of all time, except for it's probably like my 10th now. This is a 500 piece cool sports car, or just a cool car for short. This was my big Lego creator of Christmas. Yep, in the year of 2011, for Christmas, I got this big car. And I took it apart once, okay? I've taken this apart once, and I didn't rebuild it for a long time until literally, I think 2018 or so, and then I haven't torn it apart because, oh my goodness, it took forever to build. But because of that, it has some really cool functions. You could basically turn the wheels from the back right here, and you can actually see the motor function go from the back. And actually, I think if you open up this part right here, you can actually see the gears turn right there. I always really appreciate that. You can open up the big car door, and that's also pretty cool. Very dusty. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how dusty this thing was. Yeah, you can open up there with the seats, and they used a lot of these blue parts. I had to find some of my blue parts from the 501st RT ATST, ATRT. Bleh. You also get a cool manual joystick right here, so that's pretty cool. A nice wheel to turn, and some rear view mirrors. You can also, oh my goodness, it's like you're in the back seat of the car.
Yo, what's up everybody? How you doing? So today we got a crazy video about the Bucks offseason and how it's just been completely unprecedented. You start off with the unprecedented move to waive and stretch Damian Lillard. He had 2 years, 111 million left, I believe, around there. And so when they waive and stretch him, that gets stretched out to 5 years, and it's about 22 million per year. When you break it down, it kind of makes more sense. So he was going to not play this whole year. He was going to not be available for the entirety of this upcoming season. And then next season he had a player option, which he was going to opt into more than likely. And who knows what we were getting. You hope the best for a guy like Dame. Bucks fans love Dame. He came in for 2 years and did everything you could have hoped for. Injuries are just an unfortunate part of the game, and they kind of destroyed the Bucks the last couple of years. So you can't really blame a guy like Dame at all. He did everything you could have asked, and Bucks fans love you, Dame. I hope you know that. Not like you're going to listen to this, but yeah, it's going to be 5 years, 22 mil a year for the next 5 years. And from an outsider's perspective, it's very confusing. I get it, but from a Bucks fan standpoint, you really start to understand it with how, this year was just going to be a gap year and in the middle of Giannis's prime, which you kind of don't really want to do for obvious reasons, right? The Bucks want to capitalize as much as they can during Giannis's window, and they feel like they're in the middle of it. So, and then it's just next year, what are you getting? When he comes back, what are you getting from him, right? Is he going to be the same guy, or is he going to take a huge step back? Because Achilles injuries are no joke, Next, you signed Miles Turner, who's a huge upgrade over Brook Lopez. He just does everything a little better. He's not going to be a guy that shoots you out of games like Brook Lopez can at times. I was not a huge fan of Brook Lopez. I knew he was very divisive in the Bucks community. His defensive effort was kind of lacking towards the end. I don't even want to say effort. It was just kind of this, and his limitations. He was very limited defensively, was kind of checked out on him, and I'm glad we got his replacement in Miles Turner. Now, he's not going to be a second star next to Giannis or anything, but he'll be a very good offensive option and just do everything better than Brook Lopez, to be honest. I mean, I know 4 years, 107 is a lot, but I think that's a little less than what that's a pretty decent contract for Miles Turner. I'll put it that way. Next, Bobby comes back on 3 years, 45 million total, and that's just awesome for Bucks fans. Him and Giannis are the last two from the championship team, which is kind of crazy, but you love to see it. It's really awesome that Bobby's back. Then they re-signed KPJ, Gary Trent, Taurean Prince, Jericho Sims, which I'm very happy about all of them. They're all very solid role players, and they got them all for really cheap. So I'm very happy about that. Then they also signed Gary Harris to a minimum deal. I think he'll kind of be a Pat Connaughton replacement and just some depth in the wing spot. So because they traded Pat Connaughton for, I'm not going to try to pronounce his first name, Micic from the Hornets, and they also gave up 2 second-round picks, the Bucks did. So it was basically just a salary dump of Connaughton. He'll be missed, but understandably so, why he was traded. Lopez signed a 2-year, $18 million deal with the Clippers. Sad to see him leave, but it was kind of time, you know, and that's a pretty good deal, the Clippers. A throw-in and a trade if we make a trade, but I think the other 3 are here to stay. I hope AJ Green doesn't get traded. He's a spark plug off the bench, and that's what I hope KPJ can be too. If we can get a true point guard and KPJ can just shine coming off the bench, that's what I'm hoping. And then we bring Rollins back for some more depth. That would be my ideal situation. But yeah, that shooting guard depth is really nice. You look at the small forward, you got Kuzma and Prince, so decent there. You got 2 solid NBA players. Can't complain. I mean, Kuzma, I think, could end up getting traded, which would then present some concerns at the small forward position because you really only have Prince. But, I mean, guys like Harris, they're not very big, but you could go small if you needed to. Then at the 4, you got Giannis, Bobby, Tyler Smith, and then you got Markovic, but I think he's going to go over back to Europe. And then they got Pete Nance. So Giannis, Bobby, and Tyler Smith, who are 3 players, and Giannis and Bobby are really good. And then at the center, they got Turner and Sims. So I think their big man depth is very good. They have Giannis and Bobby, and they have Turner and Sims. That's 4 very good players. You also got Kuzma, who's another big guy, but I think he's going to fit in at the 3 if he's still on the team. And then Tyler Smith can play if you need him to. Good depth at some spots, and then it's very questionable at some areas. So they still have 3 open roster spots, like actual roster spots, not 2 ways. I think that there are 2 real areas on this team that they need to address. So I think my number 1 need for this team is another point guard, like a true passing point guard, pass first, which is just something they don't have. I know another scorer would be nice, but it's just like, I think you got Giannis on your team, and you got other guys who can score, and I think you kind of just go like LeBron.
No doubt said it would be a little strange making that opposite turn. Riley
looks like he came up limping a little bit there.
Well, that's the last thing they need.
That's it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Peace.
All right, we have the awesome Lego Racers Foot Stomper. Now I'm missing like a couple pieces to this, I'm pretty sure. Actually, yeah, I'm missing like these 2 parts right here. I'm missing this part right here. It doesn't matter. It's a cool looking snake, and he's angry, and he's gonna be like grr grr. And I never talked about this set before because we are a Lego Racers. You touched the stupid cozy code. I am done with you, sir. Okay, it's gone. It's dead.
Good night, everybody.
Now, it has only been one time since we've talked about LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean, and actually since the last time we talked about Pirates of the Caribbean, they have actually announced they're doing a Black Pearl set, and guess what? The Black Pearl is already out, baby! Let's go! Let's go! And so we're gonna talk about more Pirates of the Caribbean for the algorithm right there, because we're actually going to be talking about Lego Banana Balance, which is also in Pirates of the Caribbean. Who cares? Shut up. And Banana Balance is a part of the Lego games line, not akin to the Lego Frogs. Okay, we're talking about Banana Balance here. This is about monkeys, not frogs, you idiot. So we're gonna open up this game right here. This was the only Lego game I had ever growing up because, you know what, we were poor. The game was pretty simple. Here's a tree. Alright, you like the tree? It's a pretty good tree. And you get this dice. It has green, yellow, and brown. So Yellow, for you dummies out there, is for banana. But it's because the game. Because the game, and then brown, because brown is for monkey, and the monkey is really cool because you get to just hang the monkey on a leaf. And how many bananas are on the leaf? Right there, you see? We didn't put any bananas on the tree, so there you go. We're gonna put a banana on the tree, and the monkey died. So, I rolled a monkey, and you put the monkey on the tree, and you take all the bananas like that. I have a point. You don't, stupid. And then if you roll a green, you put a leaf on it, right? And basically, whoever in your party tips the tree over because you're putting too many leaves and bananas. Because if you put a banana, if you roll a yellow, you have to place a banana on the tree. And I have a banana, stupid. Oh, it's your turn to roll, idiot! It fell over. You suck. And yeah, that's pretty much banana balance in a nutshell, actually. All right, now we're in the part of the show where we're going to be talking about other cooler sets that I don't own. Actually, here's a couple sets from 2011 that do deserve the spotlight for probably some of the best 2011 sets that came out. I'm going to talk about the 2507 Ninjago Fire Temple. Now, this one is just really cool in like a more of like a Japanese architecture kind of style with like the way like the actual like temple looks, and I really do appreciate that. Got a cool couple minifigures right there. You know what? I'm gonna be real. Probably the Ninjago set I would actually get from this year. I do have a couple sets for the Serpent wave, for the 2012 wave. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself right now. But what I will say is that this one is probably the one I would probably get. Okay, so now the next couple right here, I just threw these three together. These are sets I actually did used to own, but I don't actually have them anymore. But actually, there's four of these sets right here. The 3365 Dune Buggy, the 3366 Satellite Launch, and the 3367 Space Shuttle. Now, these three sets right here I actually used to own, and specifically the Satellite Launch was always a really cool set in my opinion. I didn't realize that was actually supposed to be like a satellite until like later in my life when I figured that out. But these three sets right here, I mean, I adored that Space Shuttle so much, and I was so stupid because I gave it away. Like, I gave a bunch of my sets away to like people essentially, and because I thought I needed to downsize my collection to realize like, oh, that was actually cool stuff. Like, that was like some of the best Lego City stuff ever, and I was stupid in middle school. Whatever. Nowadays, I love those sets to death, and honestly, I really think that even with the Space Center set, the 3368, that like rocket with like the command center at the bottom, and like the way that the like spaceship, they did like a recent set for the Space Shuttle. I forgot. I wasn't discovered. Whatever it was. They did something really cool, or something like mocked up, like the way it would like build on top of the set or something like that. I have a picture of it right here. And what I'm trying to get at is that I've always been so allured with that one, especially 3368, that like that's probably the one I would absolutely want to get. And honestly, that's probably just a contender for one of my favorite Lego City sets of this year, especially with that in the bank too. Another one that I really want is a 3854, the Frog Rush board game. And I do have Banana Balance right here, and I like Banana Balance, but Frog Rush, I think that's a pretty cool game. You get a lot of good pieces, good parts. Got some red frogs. You know my thoughts on the red frog, so I don't Okay, another really cool set of the year, obviously, especially for the Pirates of the Caribbean. They came out with the Black Pearl in 2011, and that's no different for this year. Whatever, it just came out for the algorithm. It's, what month are we in, stupid? Yeah, so the 4184 Black Pearl, and that was the one that only had Davy Jones and Gibbs in it, which, oh my goodness, is just so, like, some of the best minifigures are just in that set. And even that Hammerhead dude, like, they didn't have a lot of those fish fellows that were just in a bunch of the sets. There was only, like, a couple. So, like, yeah, no, the Black Pearl is just generally, like, the most iconic ship from that series, like, the most iconic, like, thing you would want to get. And then also has the best figures. Like, straight up, yeah, it's based off Dead Man's Chest, one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, it's gonna be the best one. And also the 4195 Queen Anne's Revenge for the Stranger Tides movie. That one's also pretty cool. Honestly, most of the Pirates of the Caribbean sets were always pretty cool. I already talked about you. Shut up. Now, a Hero Factory, because you know what? There's no Bionicle this year, but there is Hero Factory. Not too much in the Hero Factory, but 2283 Witch Doctor, I don't know. I kind of like it a lot. Very, I don't know, there's a very Makuta kind of vibe there. I mean, he looks evil. I don't know. He was like the cooler one that I kind of looked at. Actually, more of like the one main villain of 06 Bionicle. Don't at me. Shut up. And also a set that I used to own for Lego Creator was the 5766 Log Cabin. That one was pretty cute. Nice little log cabin. Who cares? I also used to own the 7052 UFO Abduction, which was the alien abduction line. Now, Alien Conquest was also one of the cooler themes of the time. Not something that I feel like is like the most popular of any of the space themes, kind of the one I feel like that gets neglected a lot, though it is probably some really cool sets that did come out of it. And you know what, that was the only one I did have growing up at the time. I don't even know if I have any of the minifigures still. I mean, I would have shown it off to you guys. So you know what, maybe one day Alien Conquest will be on my list of videos to do one day. I think that'll be pretty cool. The 7327 Scorpion Pyramid. Now that one, come on, I think that's what everyone wants. We all want Scorpion Pyramid. Come on. And also the other one I'm gonna admit is 7868 Mace Windu Starfighter. I mean, that one just has the tactical droid period. Like, it's probably one of the lamest Starfighter like build looks. Pretty much, who cares? You get 2 stabs, you get a tactical droid, pretty good army builder right there, and you get Mace Windu, which was rare at the time, and also the only Mace Windu Starfighter and droid. Like, I don't know, it's cool, it's aura, it's whatever. This is my list, and you should enjoy it. So there you go. I just made a list right there, and we're done. I'm just kidding. We have minifigures. Savaggio Press, I forgot about you. I had some Advent Calendar minifigures that I forgot to talk about. I just realized they're all Advent Calendar. Nuke Gunray, Yoda, Chewbacca. I already talked about you. I have an Ewok from the Ewok Village. There you go. I forgot to talk about you. SpongeBob, Patrick, that guy, Scout Trooper, Anakin. Oh my goodness, this is so crazy. This is so cool. Oh, TIE Defender pilot. I have a TIE Defender pilot. Sorry, my bad. I also have a young Han Solo right here. Now, this is my only Han Solo for a time being, so I thought that was pretty funny. I had this from the DVD of the Padawan Menace, which I might do a review on one day, so be there. It's probably one of my most watched pieces of media, period. I watched this almost like every day as a kid, and I always literally loved this minifigure, and it was basically canon in my brain for the longest time, so it didn't matter to me that what young Han Solo actually means during the time of Clone Wars. Who cares? Who even cares about the Solo movie right there? I don't, because this was my Solo movie. And also, I just like that they use like the Empire Strikes Back look for a young Han Solo. I think that's always kind of funny. I don't know. I do like this minifigure a lot, and I don't care. So sue me, I don't care. And yeah, so there you go. That is the 2011 retrospective. And yep, I just like making these videos. It makes me appreciative of all the sets I own, except for you. I'm done with you. Done.